Konnichiwa! I'm currently in Japan and we're going to be living here for the next year. The video I want to show you guys today is something I filmed a few weeks ago when I was visiting my family in the US. While I was living abroad, my mom moved houses and she moved from a big house to a smaller house, and I had been storing a lot of things at her house. So when she moved to the small house, she said, "Tara, you have to come home and sort out your things." This was my first chance since trying to live lighter to really come back and face these boxes. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, but since I don't live in the United States, it hasn't been possible, so I was really excited. To tackle this project, I used Marie Kondo's method from the book Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. You'll get to see all 5 steps, as well as before and after shots of what I kept and what I got rid of. So let me show you what all of that looked like, and at the end I'll share a few of my thoughts of things that I thought went well and maybe a few things I was disappointed with along the way. So here's everything that was under the stairs in my parents' house. You can see there's quite the collection, from sporting goods, clothing, books, electronic equipment, DVDs, stuffed animals. I only allowed myself 7 days to complete the process, so I knew it was going to be a challenge. So step 1 is clothing, and I've just gone ahead and put everything in a huge pile. All the tops, bottoms, clothing that should be hung, socks, underwear, bags, accessories, clothing for specific occasions, and shoes. It's all right there, and I've got boxes laid out where we can sort the things that I'm discarding. So there you can see, after I'm done, that's all the stuff that I'm getting rid of. And here are some of the things that I decided to keep. In the front, there's about 6 items that I did decide to keep. In the back on the far left are some things I thought I'd bring to Japan and see if I can use them for work. And then the ski stuff and the Cambodian souvenirs I felt needed to go in another category. It's time for step 2, which is books. Marie Kondo advises separating them into 4 different categories, but since I didn't have many, I just put them all in a pile. There on the left you can see the ones I decided to part with, and the ones on the right are the ones that I wanted to keep. Step 3 was papers, and unfortunately I don't have the after shot to show you. I was able to condense everything into that plastic container, and then I really had to give up on papers because it was taking too much time and I wanted to move on to stage 4, which is miscellaneous. This is the biggest group, and it includes CDs, DVDs, skincare products, makeup, accessories, valuables, electrical equipment, household equipment and supplies, kitchen things, spare change figurines, hobby-related stuff. There on the left you can see everything that I decided to donate, and on the right you can see what I decided to keep. Step 5 is mementos, and this was by far the largest and scariest category for me as a hoarder. Everything was sentimental. We had trophies, stuffed animals and toys from my childhood, old picture frames and notes. Here's what I decided to keep. The baby box my mom made all my mementos and photos I was not able to get to before the garage sale, but that's okay because I don't think anyone would want to buy them anyways. It's the day of the garage sale. Everything is on my driveway, the signs are up, and I am seriously doubting if anyone's going to want to buy any of this. But in the end, we made $135. Everything that we weren't able to sell, we packed up and dropped it off at a women's shelter. So this is what it all looks like after. On the far bottom left, we have all of my yearbooks, photos, and certificates, and on top of that are books and DVDs. And then on the very bottom, we have a bunch of souvenirs from countries I visited, followed by just really practical things that I will need when I move back to the US permanently, with the papers on top. Then we've got my memories, which I was able to condense to a box. Under that are my Barbies, which I were not ready to say goodbye to yet, my Xbox, and the costume box, which I absolutely love. On the top right are a couple breakables. We have a lamp, some teacups, and glasses that were wedding gifts. The next one is all the toys that I decided to keep, and the last one is that baby box. I never did have time to go through it, so that's saved for my next trip home. This is a picture of my husband and I in Miami just before leaving to go to Japan. Everything else we own you can see in the bags behind us. When I started this process, I had really high expectations and high hopes for the amount that I would be able to get rid of, and it started well, but as the process continued to go on, I realized that I was not getting rid of as much as I had wanted to. I had really hoped to have 1, 2, or maximum 3 boxes at the end, but as you can see, it just didn't turn out that way. I think during the tidying process, it's important to not let yourself get discouraged. Even if you didn't achieve the amount that you wanted to, you have achieved something, and that is significant. It's all a journey, and it takes some of us a little bit longer than others, so no matter where you are, I just want to encourage you guys to keep up, and awesome job.